Hello. Hello, guys. Assalamu alaikum. Marhaba. Welcome back to my world of Insta conversations. Sorry for that. Uh, like always, I'm back with another story, with another flavor, with another conversation. Guys, I have someone come in who is a survivor as well. We will be talking about narcissism and how much of it is real and how much it not just affects you but affects everybody around you, and how we need to learn and educate ourselves so we can handle the problem right when it's starting. And saying that, I also want to add in before we bring in our guest is that not everybody is a narcissist. So stop labeling everybody a narcissist because you're not getting along, okay? Yes, I agree we're all toxic and we need to learn how we're going to detox ourselves, and it's going to be a learning process. Every day we have to learn and grow, and people around us are going to teach us. We're going to learn from our experiences. We're going to learn from our environment. So keep an open mind. Remember, I always emphasize on self-awareness. Self-awareness is like a superpower. It can do wonders. It can do so much for you. So guys, become self-aware so you know what you're doing and what's happening around you. And on that note, I will bring in my guest and we will start our conversation from there. We are just connecting and we will start our conversation once our guest is on.
Oh my God.
Okay, I can hear you, but I cannot see you.
Okay. I don't know what happened with the camera,
Oh,
but
it's
at
not
least you can
working?
hear me. All I can see is a black screen, but it was working fine when we tested it out.
Yes. It happened once earlier as well with someone. Let's keep on talking, and then sometimes it just shows up. So don't worry about it. I can hear you, you can hear me.
Okay, yeah, that's what matters. So,
Yes. So let's have you. Oh, we lost him. Oopsie. Okay, guys, let me reconnect. We did a trial.
hello.
Yes, you're back.
Yes. I hope it doesn't get disconnected like this
Yeah,
often.
I hope not. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it should work. I don't think that it should be a problem. So anyway, let's dive in.
Yeah.
Let's have a little bit of your introduction, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah. So my name is Ashik, and I'm living in Abu Dhabi with my parents. And one of my parents is a Covert narc, is my father. So I've had a lot of traumatic experiences because of that. So that's why I'm here right now. I think it's not even been 1 year since I learned about this, about narcissism, that term, and how it relates to me in my life. So it's been
Oh, I lost him again. Let me bring him back, guys. I don't know what went wrong. It shouldn't happen. So,
okay. I
yes,
think
you're
now you can
back.
see me as well.
I cannot. It just says connecting.
Okay. It is, I think there is a small lag.
Mm-hmm.
So
Do you want to take a minute to fix it, or do you want to continue our conversation?
I think we can continue. We can
Okay.
hear each other now, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
So you were talking about that you had just presently found out that your father is a narcissist, and that too because you came across the term and its meaning.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
I actually wanted to know, like, why is there something going on that is so weird and something.
Okay, I lost him again. Okay, we are disconnected, and I think he's trying to do something on his end. So let's see. Let's just give him a few minutes and let's see if he comes back. If not, I will go offline and I will come back. I will fix to try to get a better connection. Okay, well, I'm waiting for you. I am here, I am live, and I am waiting for you. For those of you who are joining in, guys, we're having some technical issues. He's trying to fix it on his end. This boy tried to reach out to me a few months ago to come on my live stream, but we could not do the stream due to some technical issues. It's taken him 3 months to figure out what was going on since he's in UAE. And he is back and he wants to share his story. He wants to spread awareness. Uh, and that makes him totally awesome. We are connecting. I can kind of hear you.
Hello?
Yeah. Yes, I can hear
Yeah,
you
we're
clearly.
back. I hope this stays
Yes.
online.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so where were we? I was
Yes.
I was talking about how I found out about this whole term called
Mm-hmm.
narcissism because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I came to it, but I started reading some self-help books and it kind of spiraled down from there into narcissism. That's how I came
Mm-hmm.
across that term. And that was a really eye-opening moment for me because I always knew there is something really wrong with how my
Your
family worked
father.
and how,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like there is
Mm.
always something wrong which I.
Guys, we got disconnected again. I'm so sorry. I really want him to come up and speak his story. It means a lot to him. He is a son of a narcissist father, and he's been through a lot, and his story matters. So I am trying to reconnect with him. So bear with me, guys. Be patient. We are on to listen. Oh, he's back.
So
Carry
what's
on.
happening is this keeps getting disconnected and I'm coming back in and it stays for like maybe 3 minutes.
That's okay. We'll
That's what's
just keep on
happening.
doing it like that as long as we can have the conversation.
Okay, fine. So that's how I came across this, and I always knew there is something wrong going on, but I never
Mm.
could understand what it is. But then when I found out, I was like really shocked, and I actually felt kind of relieved because now I really
Oh, I lost him again.
understand what is happening, and
It's okay.
that really helped me. So. Uh, My father is actually a covert narcissist. So he's not the typical grandiose kind of narcissist who is openly showing his self importance and maybe his contempt for other people and lack of empathy. This is like
Mm.
more kind of a reserved, more closed off, shy kind of version. That is why it's called a covert narcissism. So
Mm-hmm.
the main issue, the main thing that actually plagued or wrecked my family was the issue of emotional incest. So my family consists of my mother, my father, myself, and my sister. She's elder to me. She's now married. So
Guys, I know this is frustrating, but I need him to tell his story, so we will keep on reconnecting. Yes,
so
you're back.
this case, yeah, this case of emotional incest actually happened between my father and my sister. So what emotional incest actually means is that treating the child more like a partner. You know, that dynamic is what we call as emotional incest. So instead of a parent-child dynamic, it gets replaced with the emotional dynamics of a couple. Although on the outside things may seem normal, there is no genuine warmth or affection shown by the narc towards their child. It's like the narc is using his own child for supply, and that is like a very despicable thing to do. And it also goes to show just how low they are able to stoop just to gain supply. And like it makes us think like what it implies about the inner state of a covert narc. So like some of the things that happen in this case is like he makes the daughter and the mother compete for attention. Like the mother and the daughter are pitted against each other. And since the supply is actually being groomed since the childhood of the kid, that is my sister, this child actually sets out to become a flying monkey and always starts siding with the narcissist. Like,
Walaikum assalam. Thank you guys for joining in. Yes, continue, please.
and what happens is, as they mature, the child somewhat becomes an arc themselves. They start displaying that kind of characteristics because the father is actually always trying to counter parent when he's grooming up a golden child like this and having an emotional incestual relationship like this instead of having a normal father child relationship. What is happening is like he he wants to gain like advantage, like he wants the child all to himself and wants to gain all of their attention, and that kind of leads to a situation where there is a lack of boundaries.
That is so true what he's saying.
Yes. So
Yes, you're
what
back.
happens is, yeah, what happens is there is a lack of boundaries, and also in order to I don't know what is the psychology behind this. In order to actually how do I explain this? Like he wants to
So
create
let's.
rift. Yeah,
So Gary
he
on, he
wants to
wants to
create.
create.
He wants to create a rift between the other parent, and it leads to like a counter parenting. Whenever there is an issue, he starts siding against the mother. He starts siding against the mother, taking the side of the child even when she is wrong, and trying to get
Guys, I'm sorry for the bad connection, but yes, you're back.
yeah. So there's a situation where they are starting to get too close for comfort. and there is something actually wrong, but we can't place our finger on it quite yet. But the mother is actually very aware of this thing going on. There is something completely wrong with this dynamic between the father and daughter. So some very obvious situations of this is uh, like deliberately asking inappropriate doubts, and maybe some sort of flirtatious behavior may be going on, comparing the beauty of the mother and the child, like creating maybe a competitive attitude between them both, like they are trying to uh, gain their attention from
Yes, you're back.
yeah. So that is the kind of dynamic that is going on. And also there have been situations where uh, the child is actually asking deliberately asking inappropriate doubts, wearing very maybe tight fitting clothes, skimpy clothing that is very inappropriate, deliberately being inappropriate, and displaying sort of a flirtatious kind of behavior. There was this incident that happened when we were in a family outing, and my father was actually looking through the rear view mirror to my sister, and he was like acting like he was lost. There was too much eye contact going on. He seems like to he seems to be like in a very dreamy kind of state, like he's lost in his thoughts, and also having this very inappropriate, cringe-inducing rear view mirror eye to eye with my sister who is sitting in the back. So small things like this kind of add up to create a very toxic and extremely uncomfortable kind of dynamic that is going on within the family itself, like where there is supposed to be some sort of warmth and bonding. It is kind of replaced with something that we cannot even explain, that is something very alien to someone who has lived in a family where there is siblings and where there are parents. So this kind
Guys, we're reconnecting.
So this is going on in my family, and my mother actually knows about this. Like there is something wrong, so she's trying to reach out to her support system, to the other members of the family, and trying to tell them that something like this is going on. But when my father realized that something like this is happening, he immediately switched to the smear campaign. And this smear campaign, I think it started maybe around in the 90s, maybe in the mid 90s. He set out to systematically speak with a lot of my mother's siblings and his closest family members, building up an image of my mother that she's completely insane for having thoughts. So, what is happening is that whenever my mom is reaching out to someone for help, they are looking at her like she is being absurd and absolutely ridiculous. Because to the outside world, when they are looking at my father and sister, what is happening is just a normal father-daughter relationship. To the some someone who actually has not lived in that family, they believe that it's something very normal, and my mother is actually blowing it out of proportion. But they do not know that he is constantly uh, showing characteristics of a covert narc, and also engaging in this very hideous emotional incest relationship with my sister, and that is really wreaking havoc to or the basic thread of our family, really. So this smear campaign is actually opening up avenues for future triangulation and conflict. Because what is happening is, without our knowledge, without the knowledge of my mom, her siblings are being pitted against her. Because he is giving such vile information about my mother that she is suspecting my father of having inappropriate relation with my sister. So when someone is hearing that, especially her siblings and those close to her, he's actually planting a seed of conflict within them. You know, he's creating this avenue for triangulation, for future triangulation. He's actually pulling her away from them by creating a very
I don't know, guys. I just pressed a filter or something on. I'm sorry. So if I look weird, I'm sorry. Yeah.
yeah. So what is happening is, yeah, she is actually being painted in a very, very bad light without her knowledge. So when she's meeting them again, they are actually talking with her and engaging with her with this in their mind. They already have this bad image of her in their mind, and she has already been slighted. She doesn't know why that is happening. Everyone is treating her in a bad way. She's actually getting a bit isolated. So this started since the mid 90s, and she has been in their old in their own book ever since. Because of the smear campaign, and because it's such a very sensitive topic and issue, nobody is actually believing her. Yeah, even now.
Guys, I just lost him again.
So even up to this point, it might have it has really affected her relationships with her family members. It has really led to some bad situations, and she has lost her voice actually in the family. She has become like someone who's insane. She's saying she's blabbering some idiotic stuff about what is going on, because that is the kind of systematic smear campaign that has happened. And also we have to take into consideration the fact that my father actually has a very good image outside of the family, outside of my family. He actually has a very reputable and respected image. So it makes it all the more harder. It makes it all the more harder for others to accept the truth about this whole situation. And we have to also note the fact that my sister also was there in the smear campaign. You know, whenever she spoke with my mother's siblings, uh, my cousins, and all that, she used to bring up this topic and kind of clear the air, even if there is nothing like that, like there is no doubt or anything. She used to put this out there and clear it off. Again, like tarnishing the name of my mother. She's again like having dirt thrown onto her. So that is the entire situation going on. Like she is getting her name dragged in the mud. So she is getting her name dragged through the mud so that this whole thing can be covered up. This absolutely inappropriate relationship between father and daughter. So that is how it all began, with this very scandalous kind of fiasco and this very deep rooted smear campaign. So because of this smear campaign, there has been a lot of events of triangulation that happened, which may be because of the fact that they are harboring feelings of hate or maybe dislike towards my mother because all these things that they have heard. So there was this situation where he has deliberately, what do you say, like blown things out of proportion. So suppose there is an argument, he actually tries to catastrophize it instead of trying to quell it. So there was the situation between my mother and her brother. So they got into an argument, and he actually was pouring like petrol to that fire, trying to ignite it even more instead of reducing it. And what eventually conspired was that my uncle, threw alcohol onto my mother's face. Yeah, and they started fighting. But what my dad did was he took me and my sister away from that place into another room. I was actually a kid then. My sister was a teenager maybe. So he kind of like, so he kind of left them at their own, like they are having this huge fight and he just leaves because it is like a masked way of showing that he doesn't care, and he like is secretly enjoying this, and he wants that to happen because he is the like orchestrator of this whole triangulation and this big smear campaign that is going on. So that is one incident that happened. Then there was another one which happened quite a few years later. That is with my mother's eldest sister's husband. Yeah, I'll call him. How do I? I'll call him John. So John and my father are very close to each other, and he's like a patriarchal figure in the family. And to have him in, and to have someone like John in your good books is very advantageous because he is the one who sort of says the last word in the family. Like if there is a big decision to be made, he is the one who calls the shots. So what happened was he uh, entered into a triangulation thing with John, yeah, which led to this very brutal kind of a scolding or maybe a verbal thrashing one day for my mother. He's like feeding all these lies to this person. Like my mother is suspecting all the time about my father, like what he's up to and what he's doing late in the office, what he's doing with my sister. Like he's complaining to that figure, Mr. John. Like